He's back to pass. Pressure coming. He's going to get hit in the end zone. That's going to be a safety.
It's now time for Gridiron State of the Union.
Another touchdown, Porter Ridge, and they've gone up. The score is 23-17.
Presented by DMR Reconstruction, North Carolina's leader in quality insurance restoration services, with crews on standby 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. DMR Reconstruction has your restoration needs covered. Give them a call at 704-327-4028.
He's going to hand it off to Byram. Byram on the right-hand side. He's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Monroe.
Gridiron State of the Union is your insider's look each week into Union County High School football.
Malcolm fires one off, and it's into the end zone. Touchdown, Piedmont.
Now we head into the DMR Reconstruction Studio, and your host, Brian Stevenson.
Drops back to pass. Throws to her star receiver. He catches it.
Touchdown.
He does touchdown. He caught it on his backside in the corner of the end zone, and they have tied the game if they can make this extra point. They are going for two. And they got it, two-point conversion, and they won the game just like that.
What a finish in the Porter Ridge Independence game. Reed Alexander with the call right here on Wixie. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gridiron State of the Union. I'm your host, Brian Stevenson. We will talk with Reed in our roundtable segment tonight. And in other headlines, a full slate of games as 6 teams had a bye last week. It's the conference opener for most teams in Union County, so let's check out what's going on with our trip around Union. Tonight we start with Sideline Mike, who has our WIXC Game of the Week.
Sun Valley's coming off a bye week to start Southern Carolina Conference play tonight. The Spartans are 3-3 but lost big to Monroe 2 weeks ago, only scoring 3 points. Their opponent tonight is Piedmont, who comes into the game at 5-1. Last week, the Panthers took down West Stanley 34-26 as quarterback Trip Helms ran 70 yards for 1 score and threw for 3 more. Will the Panthers keep up the momentum tonight going against the Spartans? Will Sun Valley play like the team that beat Porter Ridge or the team that lost to Monroe? Find out tonight right here on WIXC. It's our live game of the week. That's the story from Indian Trail. And now to Reed Alexander, who has the report on the game 2 of our doubleheader, Cuthbertson at Marvin Ridge.
Tonight's game features 2 teams in desperate need of a win. Cuthbertson started out the year at 2-0, but has dropped 4 straight. They're coming off a bye week and hope to get things going as they get into conference play tonight. Their opponent, Marvin Ridge, only has 1 win on the year. Last week they fell to Victory Christian 20-14. Find out who will get that needed win when you join me for Game 2 of our WIXC doubleheader tonight. That's the story from Cuthbertson. Now to Chris Rogers, who has a report on Parkwood.
Parkwood Rebels host West Stanley tonight. Rebels are 3-3 on the year, following a bye week last week. The Rebels scored their most points of the season 2 weeks ago when they beat Cherryville 53-3. Their opponent tonight, the West Stanley Colts, comes into the game with only 1 win and 5 losses. That's the story from Rough Edge. Now off to Derek Skinner, who has a report on Union Academy.
Union Academy fell to 2-2 in the conference last week with a 56-23 loss at West Montgomery. The loss puts the Cardinals in the middle of the pack in the Yadkin Valley Conference. Tonight they take on North Moore. The Mustangs only have 1 win, but that came last week against South Davidson 41-0. The Cardinals hope to end North Moore's winning streak at 1 and put their record above 500. That's the story from Monroe. And now to Ken Ogden, who has a report on Forest Hills.
It's a new season for Forest Hills. Tonight they hope to put their 1-5 start behind them as they start Rocky River Conference play. Last week, the Jackets had the week off, something Coach John Lowry says was good for his team because it gave them a chance to heal up and regroup. They hit the road to Mount Pleasant for their conference opener tonight. The Tigers come into this one with a 2-4 record. That's the story from Mount Pleasant. And now to Jeff Weiss, who's with Central Academy.
Central Academy and Monroe are coming off of a bye week as they start Rocky River Conference play. Central continues to have a great defense. They only gave up 1 touchdown in a loss to Piedmont 2 weeks ago. They will need that tough D tonight against the Red Hawks, who are averaging 27 points per game. Monroe makes the short trip down Sunset Drive to their old home, Walter Pickett Stadium, with a 4-2 record. That's the story from Monroe, and now to Robert Filter, who is with Weddington.
The best defense in the county shut down Charlotte Country Day last week, holding the Bucks to 3 points with a 28-3 victory. The Warrior defense is only giving up 8.5 points per game this season. On offense, quarterback Jeff Welsh went 16 for 18 and threw for 260 yards and had 4 touchdown passes with only 1 interception in the win. Tonight, the Warriors start Southern Carolina Conference play at Anson County. The Bearcats come in 3-3 after a loss to 4A Richmond Senior last week. That's the story from Anson County, and now back to the studio and Brian Stevenson.
Thanks a lot, and one more game to talk about as we mentioned earlier. Porter Ridge wins on a touchdown pass and 2-point conversion with no time left on the clock. We'll talk more about that game in just a moment. The Pirates tonight are on the road at Garinger. Coming up next, Reed Alexander, and later in the show, Weddington coach Tim Carson.
Hey folks, Shane here. If any of you have ever played high school football, the number one thing you want to do is win the game. You're going to find yourself in the red zone on occasion. That's that final 20-yard stretch between you and 7 points, or between you and a victory, or between you and a defeat. Now, you're only as good as your quarterback. So let's imagine that damage to your home is the red zone. You got fire damage, water, wind, or mold damage. Who do you want on your team, and who do you want the quarterback to be? Well, the team you want is DMR Reconstruction. Tim Farmer is easily the quarterback you want calling the plays in this situation. Folks, they'll help you deal with the insurance adjusters. They'll take care of the damage. They'll fix it back to way better than it was before it ever even happened. It's DMR Reconstruction. Tim Farmer's your quarterback. They are the leader in the red zone. They'll take care of the problem. They'll help you deal with the insurance adjuster 24 hours a day. Call 704-327-4028. 327-4028. They're the proud sponsors of the Gridiron State of the Union on the Mighty 1190.
Drops back to pass. Throws to their star receiver. He catches it. Touchdown. He does touchdown. He caught it on his backside in the corner of the end zone, and they have tied the game if they can make this extra point.
Welcome back to Gridiron State of the Union. That was a great call, and I'm joined by the man who made it, Reed Alexander. Reed, what an exciting game that had to be.
Oh, Brian, I am so glad I was there to witness this. You mentioned Game of the Week. It could be the Game of the Year. Independence losing by 1 point. I went to Butler High School back when Independence was on top of the football world in high school sports in North Carolina, and Butler lost numerous times to Independence. So it was a sweet victory to see my team, Porter Ridge, beat Independence by 1 point, and it went down to the wire. No seconds were left on the clock.
We normally have to be pretty neutral in our coverage, but Indy is a Met County team, so you were able to pull for the Pirates on this one.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we say this all the time. When there's two Union County teams going against each other, we will be neutral. You know, we won't be biased one way or the other, or we try to be. But when it's a Union County team going against anybody else, it's obvious we're going for Union County.
This was literally decided as time expired. Take me back through what happened.
I'll tell you, let's back up just a little bit, Brian, because what really made this game was the final minute. There was a minute left on the clock. Independence had the ball. Looked like they sewed up the game because they were just running the clock off with running plays. And then, lo and behold, the quarterback fumbles it. And Porter Ridge gets it from a fumble recovery less than a minute. I believe there was 50 seconds remaining on the clock. Porter Ridge marches down the field, and, you know, time management, the coach did a fantastic job, and with 2 seconds left on the clock, they throw it in the end zone. And the referee calls a pass interference call, and that saved Porter Ridge. But, you know, I looked, and Luke Bailey was getting mugged out there in the end zone, so I think the call was for real. I think they deserved to get the penalty in their favor. So, basically, there was no time on the clock. It moved Porter Ridge just a little bit closer, right? There's no time on the clock because they give him a free play due to the penalty. Well, they go back to their star receiver, Luke Bailey, one more time. He was falling back in the corner of the end zone. He landed on his backside, a perfect pass, and Hicklin threw a perfect pass to Bailey. And you know what? History was made. 6 points go on the board. But what was even more exciting was I thought they were just going to kick an extra point, tie this game up, go into overtime. Not at all.
Not tied yet. The score is 33-34, waiting the extra point. They're going for the extra point. They are not going for two. They are going for two. And they got it, 2-point conversion, and they won the game just like that.
They actually line up like they're going to kick the extra point, and they fake it and run it in the corner of the end zone. Independence just collapsed. As soon as they got the 2-point conversion, Independence collapsed on the ground, just
defeated and very upset.
It had to be an incredible atmosphere at Porter Ridge that night.
Oh, it was. The fans got into it. Whether the stands were booing or cheering, they were loud and they were heard. Both stands were packed beyond belief. But Porter Ridge, they have such a great 12th man advantage that had to help the team.
Well, Reed, you did a great job, and listen for Reed tonight. He has Game 2 of the WIXC doubleheader, Marvin Ridge and Cuthbertson.
Shane here. Imagine this. It's the end of the game. 5 seconds left. You're in the red zone. You have a chance to call one play. You're either going to win or lose the game with this play. All right, at this point, who do you want your team to be and who do you want your quarterback to be? Imagine the red zone is damage to your home. Fire, water, wind, or mold damage. You want DMR Reconstruction as your team, and you want Tim Farmer as your quarterback because he has a darn near perfect completion ratio when he's in the red zone. Folks, they'll call the right play every time. They'll come in, they'll take care of the problem, they'll help you deal with the insurance adjusters, and your home is going to look better than it ever has before. So if you're in the red zone with your home, and it's fire, water, wind, or mold damage, you need the team that can win the game. It's DMR Reconstruction. 704-327-4028, 327-4028. Available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're the proud exclusive sponsor of the Gridiron State of the Union on the mighty 1190.
Welcome back to Gridiron State of the Union. Now time for our Coach's Corner segment, and we welcome Coach Tim Carson of Weddington High. And, Coach, you have to be pleased with how your Warriors have played so far this year.
Yeah, definitely. Coming in 5-1, it's been good for our kids to come out and see the success that they've had this year, and just enjoyed it so far.
Let's talk first of all about that incredible defense, giving up less than 8 points per game.
Well, first, Coach Smith has put a good game plan together every week for our kids, and he's instilled to the kids that go out and have a good time, hit somebody, and have fun. And that's what they've done. I mean, they love to fly around and be a little physical.
Getting ready for conference play tonight, you have played some really tough opponents so far.
Yeah, it has. Adding the country day to it, with a very good football team, Kannapolis, Monroe, and Audrey Kell. Those are very good football teams we've played and been through. And I want to be battle tested. And these kids have been through a good non-conference schedule, and hopefully that prepares us for our conference.
Let's talk about that offensive side of the ball for Weddington.
Yes, I mean, offensively, we got a lot of our skilled kids back, and Jeff's been doing a good job of spreading the ball around as far as the throwing, and Omar Boyd's come in and done a good job for us at running back. So very excited about that.
What is the impact of having a veteran leader like Jeff at quarterback?
Well, I mean, having a veteran quarterback just basically puts us into a situation to where our kid, he can be the captain out there. He can be the person to, if someone's in a wrong spot, he knows the offense well enough to put them in the right spot, and make sure everybody's on the same page. And he does a good job of leading there. Tonight
you start Southern Carolina Conference play with Anson. What do you see on film from the Bearcats?
Well, the Bearcats, they're going to be very athletic. Their running backs and their quarterback are very fast. There's a lot of options, so we have to, defensively we want to play, good, responsible, take care of our responsibilities versus the option. They have a receiver in number 8. He, big kid, can run, and they're going to try to get the ball in his hands, and we just got to be aware of, where number 8 and number 25 and their quarterback number 6 is at. Should be exciting, conference schedule, and hopefully we stay healthy and keep working hard and getting better.
Thanks to Coach Tim Carson for joining our Coach's Corner segment tonight. Now time for our UC Preps Phenomenal 5. Starting at number 5, Sun Valley. Number 4, Piedmont. Number 3, Monroe. Number 2, Porter Ridge. And holding on to that top spot, Weddington.
Time for Extra Points.
In my Extra Points tonight, I want to let you know about a very special event coming up on November 1st at Piedmont. WIXC and the American Legion Post 440 will team up to collect toiletry items for the troops. Also, cash donations will be taken up that night. There will be a banner on hand that you can sign, and that will be sent to Afghanistan during the holiday season. So put that on your calendar, November 1st at Piedmont. We would love to see you there and have your support for the troops. And with that, we are all out of time. Special thanks to our title sponsor, DMR Reconstruction, and thank you for listening. We have examined the state of our union, and I can report it is good. Good night, everybody.